Peace be unto you. In this video, the Quran prophecy about the origin of so-called coronavirus and what is more vicious than COVID-19. Some of the important points we are going to explore in this video. We are going to touch on the following points based on the full moon of Rabi Al-Thani for all countries by Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad Al-Yamani. We will prove to atheists that God exists. We will prove to atheists that the true God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Allah in Arabic language, there is no other deity beside him, neither human nor anything else. Why is a full moon happening before its set time? We are going to explore this phenomenon. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we are going to read the Quranic elucidation and answer all the questions. Now, the first part of the video, this is a three-part video. In the beginning, I'm going to give some illustration of the moon of Rabi Al-Thani, and then we are going to dive into the bayan, the Quranic elucidation, about what's going on exactly with the moon and what's going to happen in the near future in terms of the wrath of God and the climatic weather, extreme weather conditions, and what about the COVID-19 and so forth. So please stay tuned. This is the new moon. Okay, the new moon, you cannot see anything from this side. If you're on Earth and you're looking at it, the sun is blocked. It's all the way in the west. So now you have Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is a brief introduction. So basically the moon, the lunar month is 30 days. A new moon, this is named as such because it starts a new lunar cycle. So when you say birth of the moon, that means birth of a new moon, meaning that there is a new cycle. Okay, a new cycle. The moon revolves around the Earth. Okay, at this time, the sun and the moon are in conjunction. I'll illustrate this in the next slide, meaning that they are closest together in the sky on the same side of Earth. Sun, moon, Earth. Okay, so from your point of view, you are looking at the moon, and then behind it is the sun. Basically, the second, this is what, you know, the most important one is this thin crescent, and that's basically how the observers from a location on Earth, they will look for the moon on the sunset of Thursday, for example, and then they will look for the new moon. It's going to be usually very thin, and it depends on the horizon and the degree between the sun and the moon. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So a new moon, Thursday. This is an illustrated calendar about the phases of the moon. So new moon, when they say the birth of the moon, it means basically this is a phase in the new moon. This is a phase is named as such because it starts a new lunar calendar, lunar cycle. All right. At this time, the sun and the moon are in conjunction, meaning that they are closest together in the sky on the same side of Earth. So let's say if you're on Earth, you put your hand, let's say your hand, this is the moon, behind it the sun. So you can't see the sun, and the moon is darkened. Okay. Or the waxing crescent, this is what they look for in the beginning of a lunar month. It's the waxing crescent, which is this thin crescent. That's the usual standard for a beginning of the moon. Now this is prior to the current condition, the abnormal condition that the Imam is trying to alert people to. People are actually now are seeing the moon in a bigger phase than the usual phase that it should be in. So they will say the beginning, for example, of the month on they will say here or here, and the moon is too big because the size of it tells you basically how many days since the moon was born. So a thin crescent, that's an indication of the birth of the moon. Bigger than that, then there's something going on with the moon, and that is a Quranic prophecy. We will come to it. So as you can see, the cycle is 29, 30 days, and now syzygy, like we said, from Earth, the moon, then the sun. If you're looking from Earth, the moon is dark, and then it's gonna start to split away from the sun, going from west to east. Now the birth of the moon starts, and the phases will continue throughout 30 days, and this will include the full moon on the 14th day, which is the sunset of the 14th day, which is initiate the 9th of the 15th.
والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم.
And the sun runs on course toward its stopping point. That is the determination of the exalted in might, the knowing.
والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم.
And the moon, we have determined for it phases, until it returns appearing like the old date stalk.
لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون.
It is not allowable for the sun to reach the moon, nor does the night overtake the day, but each in an orbit is swimming.
Actually, a correction in the translation. According to Imam Nasir Muhammad al-Yamani, the awaited Mahdi, he said that the phase of the moon that is when the moon is darkened, this phase is the Arabic term al-urjun al-qadim, meaning the condition that it was in the preceding uh, time at the beginning of the month. So the beginning of the month starts with al-urjun al-qadim, and then the birth of the moon, and then it goes all the way again to al-urjun al-qadim. And this is the darkened phase. Okay, and this darkened phase usually it's a few seconds to a minute, and then the moon will start moving away from the sun in the east direction, leaving the sun behind, and the sun will follow it from the west. And this condition is the normal condition, but there is another verse of the Quran elucidated by Imam Mahdi in another Quranic elucidation that exactly tells the abnormal situation and alerting us, and he is alerting us about this condition that is a very, very alarming condition that we are facing right now. This phase is named as such, full moon. This name is named as such because from our perspective the full disk is illuminated. At this time the sun and moon are in opposition, meaning that they are furthest apart in the sky, on opposite sides of Earth. So you have Earth in the middle, and then the moon and the sun, but they are all in line 180 degrees, and the moon is all the way in the east of Earth. The sun will be in the west. The map below shows where the moon is visible from Earth. So this for the year 2014, syzygy was at 11 p.m. If you are living in Australia, it's night time. UTC Universal Time is 12 a.m. So if you're looking at the moon, basically the moon will be a dark phase. So the moon will be like pitch black. You can't see it. Actually, it's more like pitch black, and that's the phase. That lineup usually in seconds, sometimes a minute. You know, the moon starts to move away from the sun. It's gonna go from west to east, and the Holy Quran also indicates that the sun follows it from behind. Okay, now also bear in mind that Earth also is like a ship, is moving in this space, and is the direction also from west to east. But there is another movement for Earth, is the rotation of Earth around its own axis, and that's from west to east as well. So as we said earlier, the moon is dark here. Now the moon is going to split. So after 12 hours, actually some observers, depending on their location on Earth, would be able to see the first crescent, the waxing crescent. Okay, this one here, that's that's actually the beginning right here. Okay, or right here actually. Okay, so this is the first moon. It's called the birth of a new moon. The birth, that's what it means by the birth of a new moon. Basically, we see the light because the reflection of the sun on the moon, when it moves, you could see this part, and then as it goes further toward the east, the light shines on that part further and further and further and further till it is all the way in the in the far east. Actually, on the 14th day, after 14 day, it should be actually full moon. Okay, and then the 14th day, meaning that it is the sunset of the 14th day, it initiates the beginning of the night of the 15th. So it's different than the Gregorian. Gregorian start at 12 a.m., but the calendar days actually start on the sunset. The crescent, the hilal, for in Arabic. After the sunset of Friday, November 5th, 2021, the hilal was sighted in Houston, Texas and Phoenix, Arizona. The Central Hilal Committee of North America has accepted these reports and has declared Saturday, November 6, 2021 will be the first day of Rabi Al-Thani. The following slide is from the International Astronomical Center, indicating what days the moon can be observed from unclouded areas. Okay, so Houston, Texas is on Thursday, November 4th. It's impossible. All right, so the crescent is expected to be easily visibly seen by the naked eye if it's green. So there's no green, it's red. This says it is impossible to see the crescent from the areas located under the red color, because either the moon on this day sets before the sunset and or the top centric conjunction occur after the sunset. Okay, so on Friday, and that's basically what the Central Hilal Committee have told us, it's in Houston and Phoenix, Arizona. They have cited it. Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yamani, 3rd of Rabi Al-Thani, 1443 after Hijrah, the 8th of November 2021. Time is 9:02 a.m. according to the official time of Mecca Mother of Towns. The full moon of Rabi Al-Thani for all countries. In the name of Allah, the One, the Overpowering, Allah the Exalted, said, قل انظروا ماذا في السماوات والأرض وما تغني الآيات والنذر عن قوم لا يؤمنون فهل ينتظرون إلا مثل أيام الذين خلوا من قبلهم قل فانتظروا إني معكم من المنتظرين ثم ننجي رسلنا والذين آمنوا كذلك حقا علينا ننجي المؤمنين قل يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في شك من ديني فلا أعبد الذين تعبدون من دون الله ولكن أعبد الله الذي يتوفاكم وأمرت أن أكون من المؤمنين وأن أقم وجهك للدين حنيفا الهدى ولا تكونن من المشركين ولا تدع من دون الله ما لا ينفعك ولا يضرك فإن فعلت فإنك إذا من الظالمين. Surah Yunus 101 106. Say, observe what is in the heavens and earth, but of no avail will be signs or warners to people who do not believe. So do they wait except for like what occurred in the days of those who passed on before them? Say then wait. Indeed I am with you among those who wait. Then we will save our messengers and those who have believed. Thus it is an obligation upon us that we save the believers. Say, O Muhammad, all people, if you are in doubt as to my religion, then I do not worship those which you worship besides Allah, but I worship Allah who causes your death, and I have been commanded to be of the believers, and commanded, direct your face towards the religion, inclining to truth, and never be of those who associate others with Allah. And do not invoke besides Allah that which neither benefits you nor harms you. For if you did, then indeed you would be of the wrongdoers. Truthful is Allah the Greatest, chapter 10, verse 101 through 106.
that which